Hi, Barry here, and I was reminded the other day on a Facebook post, and it was somebody that was doing some public speaking for the first time and got a little bit panicky about it, and people were putting their comments down, and it made me reminisce about when I first got on the stage in front of a large number of people, and how a sports psychologist helped me overcome any anxiety or apprehension I had about walking out onto that stage, and how that little trick that he taught me is still doing good for me even today. I don't public speak, and I haven't been on stage for many, many years, but even now, if I'm about to do something and I feel a little bit apprehensive about it, I do my trigger and I'm fine. So here's what happened. I was about to go on stage in front of 2,000 plus people in a big London venue, and I'd never spoken in front of that many people before, and feeling a little bit apprehensive. And this chap, his name was Derek Ross, and he was at the time, quite a well-known sports psychologist, worked with professional athletes and helped them overcome mind hurdles. So he was on the speaking bill that day, and he drew me to one side, seeing my anxiety a little bit, and said, look, I'm going to take you through a very simple exercise, and it will stand you in good stead for the rest of your life whenever you get into this situation. And I said, it won't take just a few minutes. I'm going to leave you alone for about 5 to 10 minutes. I'm going to come back, and then I'm going to go tell you what to do, and then you can do that for 5 to 10 minutes and you'll be sorted. So I said, okay, that's great. So what he had me do, first of all, he said, what you want you to do is to go and sit somewhere quiet, out of the way. He said, I want you to think back through your life and remember maybe one or two or three or four occasions when everything went your way. Everything worked perfectly. It could be, for example, you got past the ball in a football match. You dribbled past a couple of people perfectly. You struck the ball absolutely. Sometimes you just know when you kick a football that you've done it right. You did that, and it went straight into the top corner, exactly where you wanted it to go. Goalkeeper didn't have a chance. You were an instant hero. And that elation that you felt at that point could have been another sporting thing, like a tennis match, where you knew that on the next serve it was match point and you aced it, and that would have been. But it didn't have to be sport related. It could be, first time that you asked your wife for a dance or on a date, and she said yes, and you imagine that elation that you felt. Everyone has got littered throughout their lives these moments where, if you like, all the planets are in line and you are unbeatable. You are at the top of Mount Everest, and when you're in that state, when you've done something and everything's worked out absolutely perfectly, and you get that euphoria, at that point, nobody can knock you. Nobody can take that away from you. You are right up there, okay? And you are unbeatable. Your strength, your inner mind strength and everything else is at its most potent at that point. Okay, so he had me thinking of two or three of these moments in my mind. And then after he'd left me for 5 or 10 minutes, came back and said, did you think of a few? And I said, yeah, there's about three that came immediately to mind. He said, okay, which of those, choose one of those which was the strongest, the one that made you feel the absolute best out of all of them. Think back to the feeling that you had at that point. Which one now stands out? So I chose one. He said, I don't want to hear what it is. I don't want to know what it is, okay? You choose it. That's your moment, okay? It's nothing to do with me. Now, I'm going to leave you alone again for another 5 or 10 minutes. And what I want you to do is to pick something which we're going to use as a trigger, okay? And it should be something that is not really noticeable, but you are going to notice. For example, it could be, just pulling your earlobe like that, which a lot of people do, out of just habit or whatever. Could be just rubbing the side of your nose like that. Okay, or it could be something that is less visible. And I mean, I took this finger and this finger, and basically I just pushed my finger into my flesh there. Not hard, just enough so. Okay, so that was my trigger, that little flesh push. But it could be anything. Okay, it could be anything. You don't want it to be something that's too conspicuous. So he said, that's your trigger. Okay, so now what you're going to do over the next 5 or 10 minutes, close your eyes, sit somewhere quiet again, and just run through the moments leading up to that wonderful thing that happened. Those moments where everything was in line for you, nothing was going wrong, everything went completely to plan. And then at the moment when you are euphoric, when you're looking at that point in your mind's eye, hit the trigger. Do whatever it is that you have chosen to do. Okay, that or whatever it is, it doesn't matter. But you do that at that point. And you keep, it's like a little video player, keep playing back those moments before that that euphoric moment when everything worked out and you feel on top of the world. And when you get to that point, hit the trigger and keep doing it for the next 5 or 10 minutes, and I'll come back and see how you're doing. So 5 or 10 minutes went by and he said, okay, that's it, you're done. So now, before you walk out onto that stage today, just as your name is called, as you set foot from the wings, trigger. You will walk over to that podium and you will feel unbeatable. You will have loads and loads of confidence because you're relating that trigger to that euphoric moment where you were unbeatable. So that's it, guys. I don't practice to do this every time, every week, or I've never done it since. This is going back now 25, 26, 27 years maybe. I don't do that. I don't do that exercise all the time, but it stayed with me. So if I'm doing something that I feel a little bit anxious about or apprehensive about, I hit the trigger and it works. I feel good about it. And what I find I start to smile when I do it, because somewhere deep inside my addled old brain, there is a connection firing, and it makes me smile. So that's it. That is the secret. I'm sure there are going to be people watch this video who are qualified to teach people this sort of stuff and will probably comment on that. That's fine. All I can say is that's what I was told to do. I went through that exercise with the guy and it's worked for me. So there you go. I just wanted to pass that on because 1 or 2 people had seen my post and had contacted me and asked me all about it. So hope it helps you. Bye for now. Oh, don't forget to like the page while you're here. Thanks. Bye.